So who is God? I remember when I first went to see Srila Prabhupada first. Actually, it was the only time. And some Indian gentleman there um, asked, Swamiji, what is Bhagavad Gita? What is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? And Srila Prabhupada explained how, everybody is looking for God. Everybody wants to know who is God, how to surrender to God, what does God want. And so Prabhupada said, and so Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita. In this way he's saying, here I am, this is who I am, this is what I want you to do, surrender to me, and this is how. So this is the point that transcendental knowledge is not available to the material mind and senses. There is absolutely nothing we can do in order to attain any level of spiritual understanding, definitive spiritual understanding. So Srila Prabhupada explained that we are familiar with the ascending process of knowledge, that by our own endeavors we can grab knowledge and bring it to us, grab things and bring them to us. Krishna cannot be reached that way. You could say that if what we do with our material logic and experiments and analysis and so on is we come to understand things, then spiritual life we cannot understand. Instead, we must stand under. We must receive, descending. So Krishna himself reveals who he is and reveals the entire spectrum of spiritual life and spiritual understanding through Guru Sadhu Shastra, through the self-realized teachers today, through the self-realized teachers of yesterday, the sadhu, and through his own words, his own teachings. The Vedas, for instance, these are transcendental sound vibrations. They are coming from that plane. All spiritual knowledge is coming from that plane. So we know who is God because God reveals himself. If he does not reveal himself, we don't know anything. The most we can do with our logic is understand that there is a God. But to know who is God, we must hear from Guru Sadhu Shastra. And we must recognize that many people are willing to speak about many things, whether or not they truly know what they're talking about. They have vanity, they have desire for respect, adoration, and all of us in this world, we have false egos. So we take ourselves seriously. So in order to be confident that the information we're hearing about the nature of God, it's Krishna, he's bluish black, he wears a peacock feather, he plays a flute, he is the devoted lover of Srimati Radhika. There's so many things. Why should we take any of this seriously? Because we have heard from Guru and we are taking Guru very seriously. How do we know he's Guru? Because we have studied these Shastra, we've heard, and we've used our intelligence. Prabhupada said, anybody who comes and they accept everything, yes, I agree, I accept everything right away, probably they're not going to stay around. He said, an intelligent person must have questions and doubts. It's natural. It's natural. So with our intelligence, we can study Shastra, we can listen, we can think about this philosophy. It's a very deep philosophy. There's nothing dogmatic here. You can hear about, spiritual life means you're not the body. You're not the body means if you know you're not the body, you know you're not the mind, then you're not going to experience your happiness and your distress on the basis of the condition of your body and mind. You're going to be transcendental. And the Guru displays transcendence. He displays the symptoms of transcendence. So we listen to him. We listen to a person who is Brahmashrotriyam, Nishtam. He is fixed in all the teachings, all the conclusions of Scripture. He can resolve anybody's doubts by explaining on the basis of Scripture, logically, reasonably. And he is himself nishtam. He is free from any interest in having material situation be anything different to what it is. He's not affected. Either he's in a palace. Srila Prabhupada lived in a simple cell in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. Incredibly simple, like a cave almost. Simple prasadam. When he came to the West, after the Krishna consciousness movement was established, his disciples would give him rides in the best cars and very opulently appointed rooms and bring prasadam, so many different kinds. Absolutely no different. And anybody who's seen the incredible video of Prabhupada as he's leaving this world, his body is... the doctor explained, he said he didn't understand how anybody could even be conscious, the pain that must have been present at that time because of Prabhupada's physical condition. And Prabhupada, his body is curled into almost a fetal position at a point. He's not been eating, he's stopping drinking, everything, and can't hear but a whisper. But what's he whispering? He's still giving the Bhaktivedanta purports. So the transcendentalist is transcendental to all the flavors of material existence. And regardless, he is simply absorbed in hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving Krishna. Simply as Guru, he's simply constantly preaching, he's constantly enlivening his disciples, constantly bringing their attention from wherever it is in the material world, using the situation he's in at the time, using material analogies, material experiences to get people's attention from where they are, because you have to speak to where somebody is if you want their words, if you want your words to land on them. You can't preach at them, you have to speak with them, find out who they are. Prabhupada was expert at speaking with people. There's one delightful little pastime. Prabhupada has gone for a walk, and always going for a walk. An Indian old person, I believe it's an Indian old person is coming the other way, old person. And Prabhupada says, "Good morning," and then he says, "Do you have all your teeth?" "I have all mine." And then they walk on, and Prabhupada's laughing, and he says, "Old man conversation." So Srila Prabhupada displayed the symptoms of a transcendentalist, therefore we can have faith that there is such a thing as transcendence, and we listen to such a person who we know he knows who is God. You want to know who is God? Then you find a God-conscious person and you listen. Whatever it is you want to know about, find somebody who displays the symptoms of being an expert. They're an expert engineer, they're an expert doctor, they're an expert lawyer, they're an expert brick mason, an expert wood carver, expert musician, and ask. Ask. And then be humble. Don't, well, I don't know if I agree. You don't know. How can you agree? How can you disagree? You don't know. If you find somebody who is clearly in love with God, who is clearly completely free of the ups and downs, the attractions and repulsions of this world, who is always blissful, and whose words and actions are completely, this is why we say acharya, or in Christianity, the Word made flesh. The words and the actions, same. No difference, none. Not for one moment even. None. This is Krishna conscious. Somebody who knows Krishna, who is actually internally engaged in pastimes, in their service of Krishna in the spiritual world, and they've come here to share that with us. We are so, so fortunate. Jai Shri Prabhupada.